I returned to Quaramonte and found that Georges had left a message with Conchita. He'd already left for the Indian village, so I hurried to catch up with him. When I arrived, I found a scene of desolation. These sunglasses are Georges. Georges, where are you? Tezcatlipoca, I'm almost glad to see you. You little asshole, what happened here? Are you responsible for this? And where's Georges? Have you seen him? He was pointing to the remains of a burned-out hut. It was a smashed lantern, probably the cause of this destruction. I didn't need the lantern since it was still daylight. Besides, it was broken. The barrel contained cool, refreshing water. The barrel was too heavy to move. They were Georges' shades. These are Georges' shades, right? Has he been here?
Jaws!
Where is he now? What's that? It looks like the stone we bought from Paris, but it's different. Yes, it has a carving of an eagle. That clinches it. Georges must have found this stone in the Caribbean and managed to hide the stone when the village was attacked by Carzak's men. I hope to God that Georges was all right. Where's Georges? Georges has been here, right? He was pointing to the smoldering remains of a hut. I was sure Tezcatlipoca wasn't pointing at that barrel. It was a very hot and blackened stone. It was too hot to pick up. The water could have cooled the stone if I could figure out a way of getting it into the barrel. It was a small drinking vessel made from some kind of gourd. That cup was no use to me. It had a hole in it. There was nothing in the barrel. That barrel would have looked great on my patio, filled with shrubs. One thing I was sure of, those underpants weren't Georges. Maybe Georges can make use of these. They were lovely underpants, really. Washing the underpants in the drinking water would have been a gross thing to do. I thought about washing the underpants, but I didn't have any washing powder. I just didn't have the strength to tip that barrel. It was Tezcatlipoca. I still hadn't forgiven him for knocking me out with his poisoned dart. Hey, Shorty, make yourself useful and help me with this barrel. Thanks. The barrel was empty. There was nothing else I could do with the barrel. The ground was covered with ashes. Ashes! The thought that they might be human chilled me to the bone. It was the jaguar stone which I'd found in London. It was the coyote stone, the original stone that I found in Paris. I had the coyote and jaguar stones. Tezcatlipoca had the eagle, according to the shaman. That's all we needed to deal with Tezcatlipoca. Pity he hadn't any ideas for dealing with Karzak. What is it? Where are you pointing? It was the coyote stone. Tezcatlipoca was pointing to a path which led out of the village. We arrived to find Georges being led up the stairs. We clearly didn't have much time. The steps were guarded by a bunch of Karzak's thugs.
Hey, señorita!
Too late. I had been seen.
Bonjour, capitaine.
Only sergeant, pretty one. What are you doing here?
Senor Karzak said I could help.
Did he?
Something about on-the-job training.
I'll bet he did.
I managed to hold a smile for that pig.
May I go up the pyramid?
Auntie, I mean la presidenta.
La Presidenta is your aunt?
Mais oui! Anyway, Auntie said I could watch what Cousin Raoul was doing.
But you're not Quaramontian.
No, I was raised in France. It's a long story. May I go up the pyramid?
Snuggles said I could come here with him.
Snuggles?
Oh, I mean the general. We're, friends. May I go up the pyramid?
We have strict instructions not to let anybody pass.
Oh, but I've told you who I am. Surely nobody would mind.
Well,
Oh, please, I'd be ever so grateful.
I tell you what. I'll ask Pablo if it's okay for you to go up.
If Pablo saw me, I'd be dead.
No, it's not worth the bother. I'm not really that interested in their stupid pyramid anyway.
Well, okay. It's men's work up there anyway.
I'll just run along and play around here, okay?
Okay, you do that.
It looked like Karzak was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. I didn't want to push my luck by talking with the guards again. Those jackals weren't going to let me past. I really didn't want to talk to them. There was an unlit torch by the base of the steps. I could think of no reason why I would want to pull a heavy torch from the ground. It was a length of strong rope.
How did you hook up with a maniac like Karzak in the first place?
Karzak? Whoop whoop loco!
Yes, he scares me too. Titipoco, any ideas what I can do with this rope?
He just looked at me. If anybody was going to come up with a plan, it was going to have to be me. It was a simple wooden platform lift, used for shifting equipment, I presumed. The engine looked like it was supposed to power the lift. There was a lever mounted on the side of the motor. It was a small but very enticing button. The button didn't seem to do anything. The cap was attached to the lift engine by a chain. It was an old electricity generator. It looked like a fuel line. The fuel from the severed line had formed a pool. It was a small, screw-fit cylindrical housing. It was the cylinder from the generator, now full of petrol. The motor spluttered into life. The engine was working okay, but it wasn't connected to the equipment lift. The scaffold gantry went all the way up the pyramid.
Titipoco, I have an important job for you. Take this rope to the top of this scaffolding and throw it over the top.
Oh,
The rope hung down from the top of the gantry. I wasn't going to risk amputation by meddling with a spinning flywheel. The engine stopped dead. The motor spluttered into life. It was Tezcatlipoca, my newfound ally. Would you like some chocolate, Tezcatlipoca? It's good vintage. You're smarter than you look. Tezcatlipoca, when I tell you, I want you to copy what I am doing.
Copy.
Okay? Copy. The lift was no use if I wasn't on it. I couldn't reach the lift platform from the ground. Okay? Copy. Georges! I realized those bastards were going to sacrifice Georges to Tezcatlipoca over my dead body. Thankfully, Georges was the only one to notice me.
Where are they? The eclipse is about to happen.
Patience. Your mother will be here soon and Karzak will be close behind. Just keep the Yankee covered and leave the worrying to others.
Yeah, Raoul.
The maniacs were going to sacrifice Georges!
Shut up, Stobart. Just shut up!
Calm down. He's no threat.
Hey, Raoul, why don't you do us both a favor and shoot Pablo?
You're very funny, Stobart. I haven't forgotten Marseille. When Karzak cuts your heart out, I'll be the one laughing.
I'll bet I'm not the only one due for the chop around here either. Hey, Raoul?
I'm warning you.
Raoul was a bundle of raw nerves. I hoped Georges wouldn't push him too far. It was a stone table. Given the history of the place, I wondered how many poor wretches had lost their lives and hearts upon it. It smelled coppery, like blood. The whole place stank like an abattoir. I couldn't get near the pot unseen. Karzak and his pet vermin had got Georges tied to the sacrificial table. I had to come up with a plan or he was as good as dead. General Raoul Graziento. I didn't fancy Raoul's chances once Karzak didn't need him anymore. I might have been able to talk the general around if Pablo hadn't been there. It was Pablo, Karzak's right-hand sadist. If Pablo had seen me, he'd have killed me. It was as simple as that. There were a few sealed crates and drums. None of them looked like they might be useful. The crates and drums were sealed, and I had no way of getting into them. Karzak's goons had left an ammunition belt lying around. I couldn't get the belt into the flames without Pablo seeing me. I wasn't going to risk being caught walking back down the stairs. The fuel from the severed line had formed a pool. It was the pool of spilt fuel from the generator. Tezcatlipoca, do you still have that lighter gun you pulled on me so amusingly?
What's going on over there? Do you need help, my pretty?
Nothing's wrong. I dropped, a cigarette, but everything is under control. I'll have the fire out in a minute or two. The fuel was burning violently. No way was I going to touch the fire. Self-immolation isn't my style. It was a round of ammunition.
What's that? What's happening?
Trouble.
Give it up. The pyramid's surrounded.
I'll find out what the trouble is. Watch Stubber doesn't pull any tricks. If he does, shoot him in the head, not through the heart.
Why does it matter? He'll be dead either way.
His heart belongs to Tezcatlipoca.
That's not true. We just had dinner a couple of times.
I wasn't going to go after Pablo.
Drop the gun or I shoot!
Please, don't hurt me!
Don't worry yourself, my finger isn't loaded.
Nico, what are you doing here?
Firstly, I'm going to set Georges free, and then screw up Karzak's scheme.
No, I can't let you do that. Karzak has promised me power.
Raoul, wake up. The only thing Karzak has on offer is death. You may want to ask Oublier, except you can't. Karzak murdered him.
You're lying. Oubier's in Europe.
Sure, he's in Europe. In London, on a mortuary slab with 2 bullet holes in him.
But Karzak promised. When he frees Tezcatlipoca, we'll all be granted great power.
Listen to her, Raoul. Karzak's insane.
I don't know. I need to think.
You've let your mother do your thinking for you up to now. You need to think for yourself. Your mother and Karzak think alike. There's only one expendable member of the plan left, and that's you.
Mother would never betray me.
Oh, I'm tired of trying to reason with you, Raoul. Titipoco. Watch this man, and if he makes a move, shoot him with your gun.
There was a pair of pots from which columns of smoke arose. The mask of Tezcatlipoca, a warning to the curious. Shame Karzak had ignored it. The entrance to the house of the enemy. I hadn't been so close to pure evil since, well, last autumn. I wasn't going to leave Georges to be sacrificed. Hold still, Georges. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
No idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoco. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid, the house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime... Take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoco have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoco? Nothing. He's given up violence.
Outside was certain death. By the door was a pattern picked out in blue. The pattern meant nothing to me. On the wall was an intricate pattern in blue and gold. The pattern seemed to have only religious significance. It was Georges, just rescued from certain death and not looking suitably grateful. It was Tezcatlipoca. This was a time for action, not talk. There was a large image on the wall of a man in ceremonial garb. More usefully, there were also a couple of livers. The liver was made of stone. Oof! The lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway.
Heave!
Still no good.
Georges?
Yeah?
Georges, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Raoul, there's something suspicious. This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Tezcatlipoca. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Tezcatlipoca's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of the sun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you and Karzak with that devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! Tezcatlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here. It was the great stone head that had spat me out. It reminded me of an ex-boyfriend, on both counts. The chute I'd arrived on was too steep and slippery to get back up. The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held two great discs, each covered in glyphs. There were several tiles with glyphs on them. The tile didn't want to move. The tile moved slightly. There was a statue of a monkey, some sort of religious significance. The monkey held a board containing more tiles with colored glyphs on them. The tile didn't move at all. The tile didn't want to move. It was the great disc machine. The dial moved inwards and clicked home. Georges once told me that there's a knack to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it. It was the secret exit that I had revealed by solving the glyphs puzzle. Wiggle. Et voilà! Wiggle. Et voilà!
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end Tezcatlipoca. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around. There was nothing up there, but nothing. Empty corridors and empty rooms. A really creepy statue. The figure held a skull and a bowl, probably for a heart to go in. Yuck! The only thing he could do with the statue was sit on it. And Tezcatlipoca had beaten me to that. It was Tezcatlipoca, a new friend and a good listener to boot. There was a torch in a sconce by the doorway. It was the sconce I'd taken the torch from. There was something interesting lurking in the shadows, but I couldn't make out what it was. If only I had some matches or something. Look, I need to light this torch. Can you do something clever with a couple of sticks, or flint and tinder, or... or a cheesy novelty cigarette lighter, as it turned out. There was a picture of somebody holding a torch and another guy with a lever. The lever was real. Well, there was nothing else to do around here, so I pulled the lever. Nothing's happened. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate that? Tezcatlipoca? Oh my... Great. I had no idea where I was, no idea where the others had got to, and time was running out to stop Karzak. Still, I wasn't dead yet, so it wasn't all bad news. There was a huge doorway in the far wall. Another doorway led out of the room. There was a lever on the wall. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. The doorway was sealed with a massive slab of stone. Charming. Lovely. Looks like my school gym teacher. The statue looked like it doubled as an incense burner. To the left of the door was a stone lever. It was an enormous stone doorway. The door was sealed by a massive stone slab. Another huge stone doorway. A stone slab sealed off the doorway. There was a stone lever to the right of the doorway. Every time I think this place can't get any spookier, it does. How rapouche. The carving reminded me of Lane for some reason. There was nothing I could do to the carving, even if I'd wanted to, which I didn't. There was a lever mounted on the wall. Impressive architecture. The doorway had been sealed. An impressively linteled doorway. I couldn't get through that slab with my bare hands. Another one of those stone levers. Yes, finally! I'm out of here. Beyond the secret door was nothing but gloom. My old torch was dying, and I had no desire to be plunged into darkness. There was an unused torch up on the wall. The torch was fine where it was. The door had been blocked with a great sliding slab of stone. The torch didn't look like it was going to burn for much longer. Once more into the unknown. There was a lever camouflaged within the wall design. Cool. Onwards and downwards, Mr. Stobart. It was the Coyote Stone. This was it. The pyramid's central chamber. Its dark heart. Once before in my life, I had stood in front of a door and thought, this is it. If I go through there, I'm going to die. I'd been wrong then. I hoped I was wrong now. This was the door that led to the central chamber and the smoking mirror.
must remember that happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. A lot of people travel in search of the sun, flying and fishing, looking for fun. But it isn't easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil, easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil. But when you lose your spark and your spirit's deep, hand to this little tip. Happiness is an inside job. Your name is Mary or your name is Bob. It's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside. Happiness is an inside. Happiness is an inside job. It's taken thousands of years trying to chase something that's staring us in the face. When life has lost all its fears and you're feeling flat, you must remember that happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. A lot of people travel in search of the sun, flying and fishing, looking for fun. But it isn't easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil. But when you lose your spark and your spirit's deep, hand to this little tip. Happiness is an inside job. Your name is Mary or your name is Bob. It's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside. Happiness is an inside. Happiness is an inside job. It's taken thousands of years trying to chase something that's staring us in the face. When life has lost all its fears and you're feeling flat, you must remember that happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an Pretty soon you'll find happiness is on the inside.